welcome student. My name is Swapna Singh and today we are going to discuss about the pharmaceutical suppositories. So the topics to be discovered are definition, advantages and disadvantages of suppositories, classification of suppositories, different kind of suppository bases and the method of preparation and at last evaluation of suppositories. So what are suppositories? Suppositories that are solid dosage form intended for insertion into the body cavity, or you can say insertion to the body orifice. So suppository, they are solid dosage form and we can insert or administer into the body cavity like rectum, like urethra, like vagina, and where they melt or dissolve and exert localized or systemic effect. At that particular place, they melt at body temperature and show their systemic action. Next is advantages of suppositories. So the first advantage, that is it avoid first pass effect. First pass effect, that means it never passes, it always passes through the direct systemic circulation. It never dissolve, it never uh, for example, we can take we take tablet doses form. So in tablet doses form, we can see the tablet first we administer by oral cavity, and then it disintegrate, they dissociate and then dissolve in the stomach, and after that it show their systemic action, or you can say they reaches to the systemic circulation. But in suppository, they melt at their particular place where inserted, and after that particular place they melt at body temperature and show their systemic effect. Next is it gives localized action, systemic action, and it can be given to unconscious patient, because unconscious patient you cannot administer tablet or capsule or syrup. So this is advantage for suppository that we can administer to unconscious patient. And next is it is easy to use for pediatric and geriatric patient. Pediatric, that means the children, and geriatric, that means old age patients. They cannot swallow the tablet or capsule. So this is suppositories are convenient for the pediatric and geriatric patients. Next is useful for rapid and direct effect in rectum, and it is useful to promote evacuation of bowel. Suppositories are convenient for those drugs causes GIT, irritation and vomiting, etc. Disadvantages: irritant drug cannot be administered to the in form of suppositories. And the second one is this is very embarrassment through the patient to insertion into the body cavities. And next is need to store at low temperature. At high temperature there's chance to melt at high temperature. And the preparation of suppositories are quite difficult as compared to other solid dosage form, and same when the cost is expensive as compared to other solid dosage form. And the fluid content of the rectum is much less than that of the small intestine. That may this may affect dissolution rate, and some drugs may degrade by the microbial flora present in the rectum. Next is types of suppositories. So there are 5 kinds of suppositories. First one is rectal suppositories, next is vaginal suppositories, third one is urethral suppositories, fourth is nasal, and fifth one is ear cone. Ear suppositories are also known as ear cones. These all are the images for the different kinds of suppositories. Next is new year concepts of suppositories. So nowadays various kind of suppositories are available in market, like tablet suppositories, layered suppositories, coated suppositories and capsule suppositories. So first one is tablet suppositories. As per its name, the tablet suppositories are prepared same as tablet, like tablet is prepared by compression. So the tablet suppositories are prepared by compression like tablet. So such suppositories are used for rectal and vaginal purposes. And the Pessary's tablets, these are suppositories are present in almond like shape, and the rectal tablets covered with thin layer of material such as polyethylene glycol for protection of transportation, for atmosphere protection. We use polyethylene glycol for protection with the rectal tablets covered with thin layers of material like polyethylene glycol for protecting. Next is layered suppositories. So in this kind of suppositories are contain different drugs in different layers, so that incompatibility drugs can be separated from each other. We prepare layered suppositories for because some drugs are incompatible with each other. So by this layer suppository we can separate the all ingredients, all the drugs, to prevent the drugs or active ingredients for incompatibility. So we prepare layered suppositories, and similarly drugs having different melting points can be incorporated to control the absorption rate. Next is coated suppositories. So coated suppositories contain polyethylene glycol, cetyl alcohol. These all are the ingredient for coated suppository to form a coating layer on the suppository to prevent that suppository from atmosphere contamination, from degradation, or sometimes from transportation. So this material controls their degradation rate to impart lubricant properties and to provide protection against action during the storage. Next is capsule suppositories. So soft gelatin capsule of different shape. See, two kind of capsules are available in market: soft gelatin and hard gelatin capsule. Hard gelatin capsule contain two parts, that is body and its head. But in soft gelatin capsule, it is made up of soft gelatin, and it is filled with liquid, semi-solid, or sometimes solid. So soft gelatin capsules are present available in market at different sizes, different shapes, and they are prepared in that type of suppository. So this type of capsules are increasing in popularity. Next is suppository bases. So suppository bases that plays an important role in maintaining their shapes, solidity, and also play important role when inserted into the body cavity. So basically suppository bases are the main, you can say this is the heart of suppository. In absence of suppository bases we cannot prepare suppository, so it play important role for maintaining their shape, solidity, and insertion into the body cavity. So there are a large number of bases used, but theobroma oil, glycerol-gelatin base, and polyethylene glycol that fulfill the above mentioned requirement. Basically, three main bases we use for the suppository bases, like theobroma oil, glycerol-gelatin base, and polyethylene glycol. Next is the ideal properties of suppository bases. So the first characteristics, it must retain the shape and size after the insertion, during the storage, during the transportation. It should not change their shape or sizes. That means it must retain the shape and size. Next is it should melt at body temperature. At body temperature, it need to melt and show their systemic effect. It is the property of suppository. It should be non-irritant, non-toxic in nature, and it should shrink sufficiently to remove from the mold. Sometimes what happens during the preparation or during preparation of suppository bases, in mold, suppository bases are stick on the mold, so this is very difficult to remove the mold from mold. So it should shrink sufficiently to remove from mold. Next, it should not interfere in release or absorption of drug, and it should permit incorporation of drug. It should be compatible with variety of drugs. Sometimes it is very difficult for the in compatibility of variety of drugs. That's why we prepare the layered suppositories. And next is it should be physically stable on storage. It should be softened on hardened on storage. Next is the types of suppository bases. So as earlier we said that three type of suppository bases are mostly used. Like first one is water oily bases or oleaginous bases. Next is water soluble and water miscible bases, or you can say hydrophilic bases. Next is emulsifying or synthetic bases. So first one is oily bases and oleaginous bases. So three categories are there, or three examples of oily bases are there. First one is cocoa butter or theobroma oil. Second is emulsified cocoa butter, and third one is hydrogenated oil. So first we go to the cocoa butter or theobroma oil. So cocoa butter is fat It is obtained from the roasted seeds of Theobroma cocoa. The cocoa butter, its biological name is Theobroma cocoa. So cocoa butter, it is fat in nature, and we obtain cocoa butter from the roasted seeds of Theobroma cocoa. It is a seed. Okay. Next is at room temperature. It is yellowish in color, sometimes white, solid in nature, which is having faint odor or sometimes agreeable chocolate-like odor. Next is chemically, it is a triglyceride. Triglyceride, that means the combination of glycerine and one of different fatty acid. So it is triglyceride primarily of oleopalmitostyrene and oleodiestyrene in nature, and it melts it around 30 to 35 degrees Celsius, or you can say it melts at body temperature. Next is the advantages of cocoa butter and theobroma oil. So it melting just below the body temperature and maintaining its solidity at usual room temperatures, readily liquefy on heating and solidify on cooling. So these are the advantages. During the heating, it will easily liquefy, and on cooling, it will easily solidify. So these all are the advantages of cocoa butter or theobroma oil. Next is emulsified theobroma. Next is disadvantages. So the disadvantages are rancidity. Rancidity, that means rancidity is always present in oils or fat. So rancidity, that means disagreeable odor in oil. So that is known as rancidity due to long time of storage. Next is stick to mold. During formulation of suppository, the cocoa butter theobroma oil, this bases stick to the mold. So during the formulation, this is very difficult to remove out from the mold, and next is leakage from body cavity. Next is it is quite costly as compared to other bases. Next is immiscibility with body fluid. Next is chloral hydrate or lactic acid liquefied. Next is emulsified theobroma oil or emulsified cocoa butter. So emulsified theobroma oil may be used as base when large quantity of aqueous solutions are to be incorporated. See, theobroma oil or cocoa butter, and this is emulsified theobroma oil or emulsified cocoa butter. Difference is only that it contains 5% glycerin monosterate, 10% lannate wax, and 2 to 3% of cetyl alcohol and 4% beeswax. Okay, and it is mostly used when large quantity of aqueous solutions are incorporated. That's why you use emulsified theobroma oil. Next is hydrogenated oils. So hydrogenated oils are used as a substitute to theobroma oil. If we don't have, or we can use hydrogenated oil in absence of theobroma oil. If we don't have theobroma oil, so in that case we can substitute theobroma oil by hydrogenated oil, like hydrogenated edible oil, coconut oil, hydrogenated pea oil, stearic acid, palm kernel oil, etc. These all are the example of hydrogenated oils. Advantages of hydrogenated oils: overheating does not affect the solidifying point. So we can use overheating for hydrogenated oil, as compared it is withstand with overheating as compared to other bases, and they are resistant to oxidation because it does not contain any water molecule, and lubrication of the mold is not required. Their emulsifying and water absorbing capacity are good. And the disadvantages of hydrogenated oils are on rapid cooling they become brittle. This is the major disadvantage of hydrogenated oil, and when melted they are more fluid than theobroma oil and result in greater sedimentation of the added substance. So this is all about the hydrogenated oil. In next lecture, we will discuss about water soluble and water miscible bases, or you can say hydrophilic bases. Hydrophilic, that means hydro stands for water, and philic, that means affection. That means that contain that substance which have affection for the water molecule. That is known as hydrophilic bases. So in next lecture, we will discuss about the hydrophilic bases.